A warm good evening to one and all present here. We welcome you to the monthly webinar organized by the Coimbatore chapter of Computer Society of India. And today we have a guest speaker from the industry who is here to share his experience and expertise about the role of artificial intelligence. So, without further ado, let us get into the session. Now, I welcome our chairman, Mr. R. Saravanan, who is a renowned social entrepreneur, visiting professor at PhD College of Technology, and former director, Cognizant Technology Solutions, to welcome the gathering.
Thank you, Dr. Maharajan. Iniya Malai Vanakkam. Good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome. It is my absolute pleasure to welcome you all to this insightful webinar. A special welcome to our esteemed speaker, Mr. Ravindran Keshavan, and to each of you participating today. Thank you for dedicating your time to explore the transformative world of artificial intelligence. We are living in an era where AI is no longer just a buzzword, but a transformative force reshaping industries, careers, and everyday life. From healthcare to finance, education to entertainment, AI is unlocking possibilities that were once unimaginable. Today, we have the privilege of exploring this fascinating world of AI and understanding how it is revolutionizing the way we live, work, and innovate. This webinar, titled Unlocking Potential, Embracing the AI Revolution, is designed to provide you with a deeper understanding of AI's real-world applications, its future trends, and the immense opportunities it presents. Whether you are a student eager to learn, a professional looking to stay ahead of the curve, or simply someone curious about the power of AI, this session promises to be both insightful and inspiring. We are fortunate to have Mr. Ravindran Keshavan as our speaker today. In fact, we have also worked together around 20 years back. I was the IT manager in Jivadon, which is the leading fragrance and flavors manufacturing company. I was handling the Indian operations with respect to IT, and Mr. Ravindran Keshavan was IT executive in the same organization. And yeah, it's a great opportunity for me to, interact with him and listen to his speech today. With over 2 decades of experience in application development, infrastructure engineering, and systems management, Mr. Ravindran is a seasoned expert in the field of technology. His expertise spans across full stack engineering, cloud native solutions, and AI driven applications, making him the perfect guide to help us navigate the AI landscape. He has worked with several key global clients, including industry leaders such as Shell, Microsoft, Kimberly-Clark, AT&T, and Comcast. I'm quite confident that his insights will leave us all with a wealth of knowledge and a fresh perspective on the potential of AI. I encourage all our participants to actively engage in today's session. Your questions and insights are what makes these events truly dynamic and valuable. The Q&A segment towards the end of the session is a fantastic opportunity to delve deeper into the topics which would be discussed. So without further ado, let's embark on this journey into the fascinating world of AI and unlock its potential together. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Ravindran Keshavan and over to our MOC, Mr. Dr. Maharajan.
Thank you, sir. Now it's time to know about our guest speaker. In order to introduce our guest speaker, may I invite Dr. Radha Damodaram, MC member, Coimbatore chapter of CSI, who is also Chief Executive Director of iBuds Montessori Play School, Director Sky Connect Private Limited, and Director White Hat Junior. Ma'am?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. And good evening, everyone. It is an absolute pleasure to welcome you all to today's program. We are truly delighted to have each of you here, and I want to express my heartfelt gratitude for your presence today. This event would not have been possible without your support and enthusiasm. At this moment, I would like to extend warm welcome to our MC members and distinguished guests. Now it is my distinct privilege to introduce our chief guest for the today, Mr. Ravindran Keshavan. Ravindran is a seasoned full-stack engineering lead, dev manager, and technical architect with over 22 years of experience in delivering cutting-edge solutions across a wide range of industries, including oil and gas, insurance, retail, media, and more. He is currently serving as a senior architect at Devon Software, where he leads the design, development, and delivery of innovative cloud-native applications, leveraging technologies such as .NET, Angular, and Azure. Throughout his distinguished career, Ravindran has worked with top global clients and has excelled in areas such as cloud development, agile methodologies, and DevOps software architecture. He is known not only for his technical expertise, but also for his dedication to building and monitoring high performing, self sustaining teams. His leadership and passion for continuous learning have inspired many professionals in the tech industry. In addition to his technical achievements, Ravindran, Ravindran has also contributed significantly to his organization's growth, engaging in pre-sales activities, recruitment support, and hosting events such as Scrum Bangalore event. We are incredibly fortunate to have Mr. Ravindran Keshavan with us today, and we look forward to hearing his valuable insights and expertise. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Mr. Ravindran Keshavan. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am, for introducing our guest speaker. Now it's time to hear from our guest speaker so that we all will get enlightened about the topic. Sir?
Yeah,
now you
thank
can.
you. Thank you, Maharasan sir. Thank you, Radha ma'am, for the detailed introduction, and a special thanks to Saravana sir. And like he said, we go back 20 years, and he has seen me doing my first presentation, first talk when I started off in my career. And I'm glad to get this opportunity to speak to you all today. Let me quickly share my screen. Let me know once you can see my screen. I hope you all can see my slides.
Yes, clear, crystal clear.
Thank you, sir. And to start off, so some quick points about, of course, Saravana sir. Without you, I mean, I would say that I may not have reached this level, and very glad to be still connected and getting your guidance. The next point is about my Devon software. So last month we organized an event for Scrum Bangalore, and I did almost the same talk, embracing artificial intelligence in the Scrum Bangalore meetup. So this is some kind of little bit improved and upgraded version for you all, since you might have missed it. Definitely, I'm not sure if there is any repeat people. So thank you to Devon for hosting that event, and that's how this topic also is close to me. So without much wait, let's start off. But basically, this is more of a talk. It's a level 100 talk, and mostly it was oriented toward developers. But you can see that it's also relating to a lot of other folks like project managers and other professionals. So let's see how it goes, and definitely you'll have opportunity to discuss and ask questions. So let's start off. So starting with some of the quotes here. AI will be the most transformative technology of the 21st century. It will affect every industry and aspect of our lives. This quote was by Jensen Huang, who is the CEO of NVIDIA. This is like 5 years ago. He had this quote. And if you don't know, in case, NVIDIA is one of the leading graphics processing design organization. And without the GPUs nowadays, the AIs are of not much consequence, right? So Going to the next quote. As AI evolves, we must remember that its power lies not in replacing human intelligence, but in augmenting it. The true potential of AI lies in its ability to amplify human creativity and ingenuity. This is by Ginny Rometty, an executive chairman at IBM. And very true to this statement, we should not see AI as something which will replace us, but eventually it will help the human race. That's what it means, and that I agree with this quote. So the last one, which I kind of added in the last moment today. So as you all know, AI summit is going on in Paris. I think till yesterday it went on. And this quote is from Sri Narendra Modi, our Prime Minister. AI is already reshaping the economy, security, and even our society. AI is writing code for humanity. So this was fresh from the press yesterday. And Mr. Modi co-chaired the AI Action Summit with the French president. And I think they have a lot of, they're doing a lot of work. And even Mr. Modi has shared that he can host the AI Summit next year. So a lot more to come in terms of the AI. And especially for India, he has a long speech, which I would definitely recommend you all to have listen once you get some time. So, so what is this AI all about? I mean, we are saying AI, and I'm sure most of you know about it, but then just to recap, it's a branch of computer science that aims to create machines which are capable of performing tasks that a human can do. It could be a lot of tasks like learning, reasoning, problem solving, understanding natural language, recognizing patterns, images, making decisions, things like that. And I mean, that's just a tip to start with, but there is a lot more AI can do. So, and so when did this all begin, right? So, I mean, when did AI begin? So this started so many years ago. So let's look at some quick history. I will not go through much in detail and bore you guys, but so it all started with something called automatons in Greece, where automaton is like a machine. It's a mechanical device designed to do something in a pre-fashioned, predetermined way. Ideally, that's the earliest initial something about AI. And then in 1950s, there was a scientist, Alan Turing, who designed a Turing test, which basically says, can the machine be intelligent, or can it be something human-like? So, and in the same 1950s, we had somebody called John McCarthy who coined this term called artificial intelligence. And also John McCarthy also invented the Lisp programming language. I think it is even alive today. That's what I hear. Of course, I have never learned Lisp. But then after this, a lot of things started changing. So there was a program in 1966 which says ELIZA. I'm not sure if somebody has, basically it's like a chat bot, what you see in ChatGPT, but it would try to understand you. Of course, it was not perfect. It was not designed to be perfect, but it was more of an experiment. But that is like very earliest chatbot what you can think of. And then there came AI-based robot called Shaky. In 1980s, then you had things like expert systems, which had some automation in manufacturing and things like that. But after that, the rise of AI was very exponential. In 1990s, we started seeing AI in games, in the various applications on internet. There is also IBM Deep Blue, which was a specialized chess program created to, compete with human beings. And you all know Gary Kasparov played against Deep Blue and lost. Even he has even written a book about that. So if you get the opportunity, please read that. Then in the 2000s, you see there are new things like robots, rovers, things like automated devices. Then while 2010 comes in, just around 15 years, I would say, you have big data and deep learning. So Google has created a company called DeepMind, and there is something called AlphaFold, which tries to build proteins or simulate proteins, things like that. So then Tesla launches self-driving cars, uh, right? So this is like exploding really fast at this point, and by 2021 you have LLMs, GPT-3, OpenAI, ChatGPT, what you hear now, right? Then you have something called DALL-E, which is a generative AI, again multimodal, which generates images for you. While all this is happening, last few years have been more fast-paced, and AI continues to advance. In 2024, almost all the devices you use have AI in some form or the other. It could be at the processor level or whatever level or application level, right? And this year, 2025, is predicted to be the year of agents. So last month, I attended an AI roadshow by Microsoft, and we heard from Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, that this is going to be the year of agents. And I definitely agree with him. We'll have to see how it unfolds. But then coming to that, there are various types of AI. Some of you might know, some of you may not. But by capabilities, there are three types of AI. One is artificial narrow intelligence, which is called weak AI. Then you have artificial general intelligence, also called AGI. And then there is super AI. Weak AI is more like, designed to do a single task or some simple tasks. But AGI is something where it can replace the human beings. So that is, I don't think we have reached that stage, although people, when ChatGPT O3 model has come, people have said we are almost there, but I don't believe so. And super AI is more of theoretical. Right now, there is nothing like a super AI. Super AI means it would think, reason on its own, make judgments on its own, do whatever it feels, or basically it will surpass the human intelligence level, right? So that is still not happened, and I am not sure when, even if that will happen very soon. So yeah, so that is the three types of AI capabilities. But if you see by functionality, then there is reactive AI, limited memory AI, theory of mind AI, and self-aware AI. Reactive is again something similar to the narrow intelligence. You design AI for a specific tasks. For example, IBM Deep Blue, it's designed just to play chess. It cannot do anything else, and it can only work with a limited set of instructions. So limited memory AI is more of, it can recall some events in the past and monitor objects, things, situations over time. However, it cannot retain unlimited memory, right? So this is more of a short term, little bit. It could be, for example, something simple, like the initial chatbots, whatever you see, and like this could be used in generative AI chatbots. What you see, ChatGPT or Siri, Google Assistant, all these, they use these limited memory. Even self-driving cars, wherein they detect the objects around them and process them, and generate the next path, right? So this is also example of limited memory AI. Then there is theory of mind AI, which is more of, what do you say, it can understand the human motives and reasoning. And at this point, it is just a theoretical thing. There is no AI which can do this. Maybe little bit in terms of some things they do, but it's not truly there. Self-aware AI is again almost close or similar to the super AI, wherein it is a being on its own, right? It is sentient. That's what people like to call. Yes, as if you have seen in some movies where they say that the AI is attacking us. This is very far from reality, and it's still not there yet. So this is again theoretical. So being said, the various types of AI. So how are these AI being used all over the world, right? So of course, we know in our daily aspects, we have voice assistants, Siri, Alexa, and all this. A lot of applications now use AI in their, for example, healthcare, uh, retail, finance, education, transportation. All these applications have various types of AI imbibed in them, little bit. I mean, it is increasing. So when you see the general applications, you could have some of these types. This is not a complete list, but then I just picked some of them just for our discussion sake. So generally you have things like computer vision based applications which can identify objects, classify them, uh, or even things like self-driving cars which takes the images and processes them in real time. So that is computer vision based application. Then you have healthcare where you use AI for drug discovery. You run various things or tests through algorithms, and or for example research in vaccines and things like that. Then you also have assisted medical imaging wherein AI can analyze some x-rays and say, okay, this is what it looks like. And I think already these are already being explored widely. In education, you get personalized learning experience. So for example, if you go to learning LinkedIn Learning, it will, based on your profile, it will tell you what kind of training you can do, or based on your target, it can suggest your own trainings, things like that. In things like, in areas like energy, we use AI for energy predictions, optimizations, um, how we could reduce cost in terms of, or how we can reduce carbon fuel emissions, things like that, in those areas as well. uh, and there are more, like agriculture has precision farming, where how do you improve your yield using various information. The AI will suggest this is how you need to plant, this is how you need to harvest, and it will also help in crop monitoring, wherein you say that, this has this issue, or there are some pest issues, things like that. Then things like humidity, water levels, nutrient levels, all these could be monitoring using IoT and AI. So that is some of the applications in agriculture. These are not theories, these are happening in real world nowadays, and a lot of countries this is being done in large scale. Then you have things like expert systems which help in decision making based on some data. Then you also have customer service agents, right? Chatbots, virtual assistants, who can basically, it can suggest you what is the solution for a specific incident or a problem, right? So that is also being used widely. In retail, you also have things like inventory management, dynamic pricing. So for example, when you say inventory management, it will tell you what is your stock, do we need to replenish, it can predict, do some planning, things like that. So you can have algorithms which do these based on your past data, right? Dynamic pricing, for example, in Uber, when there is peak demand, the pricing varies. So it uses various kinds of algorithms and the AI in the backend to do this. Then you also have finance, fraud detection, and personalized finance advice. So for example, each person's portfolio might be different, right? And the AI can customize what you want or suggest what is good for you based on your spending habits and whatnot. Similarly, if I go through others like manufacturing, people are, or very many organizations are already doing predictive maintenance using AI by trying to determine the machinery usage and how, when do we need to do some servicing and things like that. Of course, in entertainment, you've already seen we have visual effects. We have assisted. So, for example, if you are watching a cricket match on Hotstar, you can see live, suggestions, live ads. All this is through AI, wherein it times things based on some algorithms. So, transportation, things like logistics planning, all these could involve uh, AI applications, right? So, I mean, this is very fairly short list. There are also a lot of other things, right? Even creative people also use AI in a lot of ways. Literary writers, and there's I mean, it is just opening up. So let's continue. So I had chosen two use cases which I thought generally people don't observe these. So one is AI in energy optimization. So there is a company called VROC. They use AI models to do all these activities. For example, predictive maintenance. They do real-time grid monitoring, they do alert system, energy management, advanced analytics, predictive analytics. All these, they use machine learning algorithms to forecast, what is going on, how is the power being used, things like that. So that helps them in some accurate forecasting of what is the supply and demand and how they can manage their business better. Right. So that is one example. I will share all these slides post the talk so that you can have a look. Then there is also Google DeepMind, where they are using AI to fight the climate change. So climate change is the number one problem for us as a human race. So Google is doing their bit to model various things. Let's say precipitation models, right? Weather, how is the weather changing? How the animal species are moving, right? Things like that. So conservation products, they are also doing things like optimizing industrial cooling to reduce the carbon footprint, right? Then also they are trying to increase the value of wind energy. So all these are doing as part of their AI fight to help in climate change or mitigating those challenges what we are seeing. So I will share that link as well. So these are very unique kind of challenges being solved other than what we hear on a day-to-day basis. But then this leads to the question, so what are the AI trends, right? So the latest being generative AI and LLMs. Let's see what were the trends in 2024. Due to AI, what changes have we seen, right? Excuse me. So the economy, in terms of economy, the Gen AI investment has reached 25 billion. So AI cost is getting decreased and revenues are increasing. Organizational adoption of AI is increasing, right? A lot of Fortune 500 companies are talking about AI. So this year, or rather 2024, since I don't have the 2025 report, AI was mentioned in 394 earning calls, 80% of Fortune 500 companies, which was like a 100% jump over 2003, right? And in education, there are a lot of institutions are offering AI related degree programs, AI related courses. Governance and policy, they are not able to stop talking about AI, but then they are also trying to adopt. So for example, Modi and French president have come together for the AI summit, right? So these kind of things are happening. So science and medicine, acceleration is seen in a lot of scientific areas, research, medicine, in determining new medicines or researching. Of course, public opinion is more now. Even my 7-year-old son talks about ChatGPT, right? So so even newborn kids might start saying AI as the first word. So I'm not joking. I don't know when that will happen. So also things like research and development, more and more machine learning models are coming. So every day. So for example, last month you have DeepSeek V3, which has caused a sensation because of low cost and better performance, and again open source, free, things like that. So all these, a lot of open source research is going on, right? And AI patents and publications have skyrocketed, and it will be, I mean, until I don't know when that will stop. So in terms of AI performance, AI is already beating humans on some tasks, right? There is also multimodal AI now. Earlier you just have ChatGPT, you used to chat and get some response. Now it is not like that. Now you give a video to the AI and it will give you another video to so you can generate videos based on your prompts with sound and effects, right? So it is becoming a normal thing now. A lot of things are going on in agentic AI, which is also autonomous agents, we call them, right? So this year, like I said, we will see more of agents. And of course, this all gives more stress to the responsible AI, where we need to evaluate on the security and vulnerability part of the AI. So it's a lot of the researchers are discovering vulnerabilities in LLMs, right? So jailbreak, what you call that, as you can ask AI to do something it is not supposed to do. That is happening. So these are various kinds of risks. A lot of businesses are worried. Of course, but AI comes with things like bias, right? So ChatGPT is already politically biased because of the way it was trained, right? So all these insights we got from the AI index report. And this is a very public report by Stanford University. I will include a link for you all to have a look. I just took some points there. So, but then all this, where does it lead? This will all lead to increased AI adoption. Of course, there is concerns about the ethics, but overall, we'll all be going to be adopting more and more, right? So, especially in software development. So, if I talk about, I'm sure most are, at least we have some good audience who are really interested to software development here. So a lot of organizations are way ahead. So they have already adopted AI, especially the top 6, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, all these. There are new generation of companies who are AI first. So their whole job is to build an AI product, which builds more software, right? OpenAI, Anthropic. So they build models. There are also there are a lot more, I didn't mention much, but other things, open source development going on at various organizations. So, I mean, closed source doesn't help much, right? I mean, once you have seen the DeepSeek story now, that it can beat the closed source ChatGPT. So people will try to use more open source now, right? So that is because it is free. And of course, it comes with its own challenges. Then there is also community-driven software development, wherein if you have heard of Hugging Face, so they do a lot of models, free software, AI models, and a lot of these AI-related components and things like that. So definitely you should check that. And academic institutions are also adopting AI. I mean, now all the curriculum, when we studied 22 years ago, we just had one subject called artificial intelligence. But then now, I think the whole curriculum might be revamped, right? And a lot of government and public institutions are adopting AI. And so that is also, but then there are more people who are adopting AI. If you think who else, right? So that is you. I mean, you as a developer, or you as a engineer, or you as a customer support executive. It could be any role you play, but you are also going to adopt AI. Otherwise, you'll lose out in the race, right? So the AI is going to augment you. So that's one of the reason why we need to embrace AI. So that is one best compelling reason. So it's kind of, it's a revolution at this point, and you are at the center, right? So either you join the revolution, or you are left out. So which nobody wants, right? So that's where we are at this one of the turning points in the century. So definitely I would say, AI is here to stay, and it is not a bubble like how we had seen 20 years ago. There was a dot-com bubble. This is not a bubble. So AI is here to stay. But then how can we make the best of this AI revolution, right? So what are the ways you can, so AI has so many things to offer. How can we embrace it?
Sir,
So the first thing is, of course, be aware, right? Be aware of the growing ecosystem around, and start using those AI tools. So there are so many plethora of tools. So start somewhere. Don't wait. So that is the way to start. Experiment with the tools. Start something small. That is fine, but start somewhere, and be agile, right? So build in an incremental fashion. So do something, learn from the mistakes, get the feedback, improve it. So that's like a small, quick, improvement cycles. and it'll, that'll help you to keep progressing. You'll not be stuck anywhere. So integrate, imbibe, and intertwine AI in your daily workflows. So there are so many ways. Not only a developer, even a normal person can use AI in so many ways, right? So imbibe that in your daily workflows. Of course, understand the challenges and limitations. So AI cannot do everything. Don't try to do things which cannot be done with AI. It has its own limitations. AI is not creative, right? So you might think that, okay, I will write a book with AI. Yeah, it might work, but then that you need to have your own creative thoughts, which will, kindle, and the AI can help you support it, right? Better, right? But then AI is not creative, right? So that is, so try to do things only which are relevant, and not everything cannot be done with AI, right? That's one point I try to remind. Be aware of ethical considerations. That means don't use AI blindly, right? So for example, I said ChatGPT is already biased because of the training data, right? So we need to be mindful of where we use AI, and especially if you are doing something in terms of decisions and things like that. So you need to understand that there could be some kind of bias involved. So even while training the model, we need to train in such a way that there is no bias. I mean, it is not 100% possible, but we will have to do our best to do that. So then follow the best practices. Don't try to reinvent everything. So already people have done some things. So people have documented this is where we could do better. So follow those best practices and guidelines. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. And of course, stay updated, because every day is different, right? Yesterday, ChatGPT was good, but today we have DeepSeek, which is a bit, has its own advantages, right? So like that, every day there will be something new, and you need to keep updated and follow what's going on, right? And of course, last one is innovate, because without innovation, you will be doing the same thing again, which may not give you much fruitful experience, right? So need to do something different every day and innovate. So those are some of the points where we could think about embracing AI. Coming to further, I mean, in terms of software development, there's a lot of AI growth, a lot of use cases in automation, natural language processing, data analysis, and a lot of companies are already leveraging AI, like Microsoft, Google, and various startups are there who have created niche tools, right? But then all this is benefiting the developer. So as a developer, automate your repetitive tasks like book fixing, writing unit tests, writing boilerplate. All these simple things, AI can do it for you. You don't have to do, right? And AI helps you in reviewing your code even before you commit, right? It tells you that this code is not accurate, things like that. So there are various tools for that, like if you have heard of GitHub Copilot, things. I'll come to that soon. So then AI would also give you some kind of clues that you need to write code in such a way that is more of insight. So that will help you to solve a creative problem in a different way, right? But let's say if you don't have AI, obviously, all this manual, there is a lot of manual effort in debugging the code, testing, scalability, all this you do manually, and it will take your time. But when you use AI, you have those extra time to invest in other things, right? To improve the other part of the code, right? So that's there. So yeah, so AI also helps in rapidly prototyping new ideas. For example, you could take an image and create a simple program using AI. Even you don't need to write much lines of code, it will auto generate a lot of things, right? So easily you can prototype new ideas and things like that. So let's see some real world applications tools in AI, especially in software development. If you have heard of for code writing and refactoring, GitHub, there is GitHub Copilot, Amazon Q, Code Whisperer. There is something called Continue. All these will help you in writing improved code faster, right? It will help you to stick to some best practices, easily refactor your code. You might have written something which is not concise, right? Things like that. Also, there are tools to review your code and debug, like Deepcode, Snike. So they will help you say that, okay, your code already has some bug, already some vulnerabilities. They will detect that and give you a heads up to fix, right? Testing and QA. So it has automated test generation tools, right? And it can tell you what might go wrong based on these tools if you run these tools. Then there is also things like tools for deployment and monitoring, predictive analysis, or you also have real-time log analysis tools like Splunk, which have some data AI-driven alerts, right? So other than that, there are also various agile tools like Jira nowadays have AI augmentation. They will help you write better stories, or Confluence will help you write documentation in an easier way using AI insights, right? So all these will reduce your work. So not only a developer, even a product manager or a Scrum Master, all these folks can also use these tools. There are also UX design tools, right? Visibly, Sketch. So these will just take an image and generate a UX design. Even GitHub Copilot can do this, right? And you all know that GitHub Copilot also has a free tier, so you all can use that until some, at least especially for students, it will be, really useful. There is also tools for helping in creating documentation, right? And of course, like I said, there are a lot of learning tools like LinkedIn Learning who have personalized learning paths using AI. So they will suggest you what to learn, what to pursue based on your interest, right? All this is good, but then why is it not everyone is not diving into it? There are a lot of challenges, right? There are limitations, so things like that. So let's see. So some challenges are basically in terms of over reliance, right? So you use only AI tools and then you forget how you used to write code, right? So that should not be the way. You should just use AI to help you augment your skills. Don't forget to write code because AI can do it. Then there's not much we can do. Then you are like allowing AI to take over. But then in this race, the other developers will rather than the AI. So better to keep your skills upgraded always, even though you use AI, right? So when you have AI generated code, it might be difficult to understand it or debug it, because AIs would generate code based on some LLMs or various things. It could be complicated. It may not be a straightforward thing. So those are some of the challenges. But then what are the other limitations? So AI cannot help you with creative tasks, like highly context dependent. It can, your AI generation will be as best as your prompt, right? So that's why a lot of prompt engineers have a lot of demand nowadays. So you can see, that is a lot of demand for them. But then again, so you still need the human touch in terms of creativity and the context, right? And whatever code AI generates, it may not be consistent. So for example, you generate some code for Python, it might work well, but then you use some other programming language, Go or some other, but that may not be in same quality as what, because of the way the model was trained, right? So these kind of things are there where you need to understand the limitations of the AI tools. But then there are also other ethical considerations which we need to be aware, right? Data privacy and security when you use cloud-based AI. Don't trust any and every model, right? We'll need to pick and choose, right? Which AI models to trust. Don't give all your data to some specific AI LLM. They might just steal, right? So those are some of the security concerns. So bias, like I said, how the model was generated, nobody knows. For example, ChatGPT, how it was generated, what kind of data was fed. nobody knows for sure, but at least some, even DeepSeek for that matter, although the code is open source, how was it trained? What data was fed into the model? We are not sure, right? So it might have some biases, right? So we need to consider that. So the last is attribution. So let's say you generated an application using AI. Now question is whether you wrote that application or the AI wrote, right? How would you say? I mean, you being a user of a tool created, but it's a debatable thing that who owns this code, whether it is AI or whether it is you, right? So that's a never ending debate, I would say, but you will hear that frequently. So with that, let's see what are the best practices we could have around AI. Like I said a few minutes ago, start small and integrate incrementally, right? And keep humans in the loop. So you don't replace, or you don't replace humans with the AI tools. It will not work. Use the AI to assist your developers. That will give better results, right? Use diverse data, high quality, relevant, diverse data. Then you have less bias in your models, right? Then respect regulations, data protection regulations, especially where the countries where you are working, they'll have their own laws, right? We need to make sure we respect and comply with those laws. Otherwise, what you're doing might be a challenge later, right? Implement security measures which should be robust or protect the data what is involved, right? If your users base reaches a huge number and if there's a data leak, then you'll be held accountable, right? So that is the reason why we need to think about that. So design the systems with the end user in mind. Of course, it is whether it is AI or not, it's a relevant point, and it needs to scale efficiently, right? So for example, if the data increases and the usage increases, the system should not go down, right? It should be scalable, and of course, cost effective is another thought which generally people will consider, right? Then review the AI outputs for quality and ethical issues. So frequently test your AI systems, audit them to see whether it is giving the right output, things like that. Without that periodic auditing or testing, you will not know, right? So that we need to do regularly. Maintain documentation of the processes, AI models, data sources, all these, so that if tomorrow there is an issue, you know why you landed here, right? You need to maintain a trail of how you reach from point A to point B. So that is one very important point. Then of course, follow industry best practices and guidelines for AI development and deployment, which is don't reinvent the wheel, which is again reiterating that point. So let's see what are the future trends and how do we stay updated, right? So there are new things probably already they are here, right? When I say future advancements in AI powered DevOps, it's already here, AI ops, what I hear. There are also a lot of specialized tools coming in for various niche domains. Then you will have specific, let's say ChatGPT is a general LLM, right? You might have specific LLMs for various domains, right? That is already here, and things like that. So then there is also increased focus on explainable AI for debugging and transparency. This means basically when you generate some code, how do you understand or how do you figure out what the AI has generated, right? So that is some things which you need to consider. Experiment with the AI tools relevant to your workflow. I mean, without that, so every day new tools are coming in. Unless you experiment with tools and keep adopting newer ways, you'll be left out, right? So participate in discussions or forums about AI ethics in software. And so the best way to resolve ethical challenges is discussion. until you reach the discussion mode, you don't know what you're doing is right or wrong. So whatever question you have in your head, you'll not get an answer just by keeping it to yourself unless you discuss with a similar like-minded folks and what others think, right? So participate in those discussions and forums, connect with the community. So one thing, learning doesn't happen in silos, right? So you also need to connect with others and see how what are the new things going on, how can you embrace new learnings, right? And of course, never stop learning, keep learning. So that is the other final point. I think I'm already probably out of time. Okay, so I don't have much slides. I'll quickly introduce you all to a quick tool called Open Web UI. Feel free to explore this, and basically this helps you run local LLM, and you can do the chat GPT, whatever you have chat GPT like LLMs, right? You can run this locally, and the Open Web UI will help you to explore the various models and help you to understand better, experiment with newer models and things like that. So that is one tool I would like to introduce. And the other tool is something called Continue. And this is basically a code assistant, again, free and open source, which uses a local LLM. I would definitely suggest you all to try this. So, okay, going on. So some key takeaways is AI is a powerful tool, but not a replacement for your creativity and expertise. Embrace AI to boost productivity, but be aware of its limitations, right? Privacy and ethical concerns, be aware about it. AI could be biased, right? Don't use AI for everything. AI is not a solution for every problem, right? And AI is evolving fast. You need to keep moving, we need to keep up with the pace. And of course, AI is here to stay. It's not a bubble, right? So start exploring, start innovating. So that covers most of my points I wanted to talk about today, but I have another few slides. So if you are all interested in more events, free events, my organization helps in arranging some events for AI, and it's all free. There is no strings involved, and it's all in person. So it happens in Devon, Bangalore. A lot of people from Coimbatore have traveled to our past events. So very popular. So feel free to join in, make sure you register, right? There are also other online events Devon conducts, and there is a very interesting webinar, AI in software development trends to watch. I would all recommend to watch this whenever you have some time. It's around 1.5 hours. And there is one AI testing modernization, AI based testing modernization event coming up, and again it is free for everyone. Please join in, and you would be happy to understand some new findings from our chief AI officer and our architect from Devon. So saying that, I would like to finish saying the best developers will not be those replaced by AI, but those who embrace it to amplify their potential. So that I would kind of conclude the talk, and probably not too much of discussions, but we could do more in terms of specific topics, because AI is a very large topic, and it is very difficult to concise in a small time about various topics. So if I have not covered something, please free to ask me in the questions, and let me stop sharing so you take over.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing your experience
Sure.
and expertise. And now let us move on to the next segment of the program. It is a Q&A session where we have consolidated the questions that are received from our participants at the time of registration. Some of the questions are getting displayed here, and our guest speaker will be providing us response for those questions.
Sure.
Nirnikan.
So, okay, so what are the benefits of academics and funding in AI-based projects? So, I mean, in terms of the organization who are providing this, this basically goes into research, and or any kind of research done will bring out new findings, and people will have various patents logged in, right? New ways of development and things like that. So like any other scientific research, this is also some kind of scientific research. This will help the world in improving. So that's what I would like to say in terms of benefits. So AI developments in modern society. Yeah, that's a very good point. I think I would say in day to day, we'll only see increased adoption of AI. And as you see, it will be, something like now, see, earlier we used to have roti kapda makan, we used to say, right? Now we have internet added, and then we'll also have AI added probably in future. So it's like that. So AI will be like very essential. So AI in 2030, that's a big question, and I'm a very not that great person to answer, but I definitely visualize a lot of advancements in next 5 years. And what you see today is like only 5 to 10%, what is coming. So that's what I would like to say. AI tools used in research papers writing. So there are a lot of tools. Even ChatGPT is used, or Gemini is used in research papers as well. But there are also specific research tools available, which a lot of educational institutions have developed. I don't have anything specific in mind. I'll try to find and share with you guys. But a general Google search will give you a good starting point, I would say. So yeah, can you provide us some material or platforms to practice AI tools? Yeah, so one, you could start off with Hugging Face. It has a lot of research papers, a lot of open source components on AI and how to get started and things like that, a lot of documentation. Other than that, of course, we have various tools. I mean, I would suggest go to GitHub and see what is going on. Mostly GitHub hosts all the open source projects. And but if you're just getting started, I would recommend, Microsoft Learning has a lot of free courses for you to get started. Of course, it is a little bit Azure focused, but then there are also general courseware and which will help you to get started on AI. Okay, so the next, how will AI aid software professionals in web development? So like I said, we have a lot of tools which I covered in today's session. Definitely, those tools will help you in augmenting your software development activities and speed up your work and increase your productivity. So please try out those tools. The free ones are, of course, OpenWebUI, Continue, but there are also other free to try until GitHub Copilot. Then you have yeah, there are quite some tools. So I will kind of try to compile some list probably. Next question is, how did we get the internship? Where do we apply? If this is something about computer society, I'm not sure. But if it is about Devon, periodically we do some freshers and interns. We do take up. So if there is something coming up, I will try to send a note to CSI office, and that will help you to try and apply. So also follow Devon on LinkedIn, Devon Software, so you will get some updates there as well. Okay, so the next one is, how much time will it take for humans to achieve AGI, and what happens if so? Can quantum computers speed up AI? So AGI is, based on what we have seen, we are very close, but again, it requires huge amount of computing power and it needs a creative solution. And I mean, it'll happen soon is what we believe. When, we don't know, but a lot of AI is already good at a lot of things which human can do. So we are close, but not yet there. So it happens as it happens. So yeah, we just need to watch out. And can quantum computers speed up? Definitely, there are a lot of innovations in quantum computing. I am not that closely following, but then I have read some articles which says quantum computing can hugely improve AI workflows. But again, quantum computing is still an evolving technology, and a lot of research is needed in this area. So yeah, definitely a good one to watch out. If AI is possible in everything, can it manually contribute in non-technical fields? Okay. Yeah. So basically nowadays you have tools which can generate a design from your let's say you draw up a simple UX, right? AI can generate code from it or improve that design. So not only using just a prompt, but also using a visual. Let's say you designed a screenshot or you screenshot a web application, it can tell you how to build the same web application, things like that. So it is definitely possible. And yeah, you should definitely try some tools. I think even GitHub Copilot can do this in recent updates. So what I would say, tools required for AI. So like I shared, there are quite some tools. Depending on your area, you could choose some specific tools. And same for the powerful tools for AI revolution. I mean, first thing is, of course, you start understanding what is AI, and you understand things like machine learning, what is a LLM. These basics would be the first thing what you need to focus, build your foundation, then you start thinking about tools. That's what I would suggest. So what are the benefits of students and AI based learning? So I think what you mean is what is the use for students, right? So the good thing is students are always come up with creative solutions and ideas, unlike experienced professional, right? Because you are still learning, right? You have your own way of thinking, and based on AI you might have a solution which is very innovative, unlike people who have been working for 20-30 years. So that is where we call it, right, fresh blood, right? That is why organizations take a lot of students to infuse the passion and the excitement, and students have that kind of urge to learn and move forward and build something new and be innovative. And so that is where students, if they pick up AI, all these AI based areas, definitely it will be helpful for you all. And AI based learning, like I said, there are a lot of platforms you can pick and choose. Good one is learning.microsoft. Then you have LinkedIn Learning, has some limited trainings. Other paid learnings are also nice, Pluralsight. There are also various, if not at all, there in YouTube, there are a lot of open source channels. Microsoft posts a lot of videos, learnings based on their regular, called Microsoft Reactor, which is very Azure specific, but then it is very useful. So definitely you can use those as well for your learnings, right? So you can do that. I hope I answered that question. Will the AI change existing jobs? Yes. So, I mean, gone are the days where you'll have a regular developer, right? So nowadays, as a developer, you'll be expected to know the AI tools. You'll be expected to use the AI tools. So everything has changed. So now, even in big companies, just doing things old way won't help, right? You'll need to imbibe and innovate, use the AI tools to improve your productivity, things like that. So definitely, but of course, that doesn't mean some jobs are lost, right? Some repetitive things, what humans don't want to do, will be taken over by AI. But then you still need humans to actually help do the bigger jobs, right? Which are creative and which needs those creative inputs, and where the human thinking is involved, right? Especially AI cannot understand emotions, right? AI cannot understand feelings, right? So these are the things which AI can never replace. So definitely just the shift, there is a shift of what type of jobs will be available, but not that AI won't take away our jobs. So that's what I would like to add. Yeah, I hope I answered that one as well. So any additional questions for
Yes, Mr. Ravindran. There are two questions in the chat window.
Sure.
One is from Professor Dr. E.K. Girisan. He is
Uh-huh.
asking whether is there any AI tool available for executing JSP and Java servlets, similar to the platform like programs.
So, I mean, when we say executing JSP code, so there are some platforms, like I said, OpenWeb UI can execute Python code on the screen, right? So it can run small bits of Python code and show you the output. So if it is in that sense, there might be some open source tools available for that, but I am not really sure. JSP, I don't follow the Java servlets of late. So there could be something. If we explore, we can probably figure out if there is something. Yeah. And in terms of general, LLMs can do a lot of these things, can help you suggest, let's say you have a JSP code, the LLM can tell you that, okay, this is how you need to run, this is how you need to test, and things like that. So that is definitely there.
And the next question is from Mr. M. Sanjay.
Mhm.
The question is how the cloud storage uses AI and for what purpose it is being used.
Okay, so that's a good question. So when you say cloud storage, there are a lot of clouds, like Microsoft has Azure, Amazon has AWS, Google has. So all these use some form of the other storage in the cloud. In Microsoft calls it blobs, whereas AWS has its own term for that. But basically what happens is these cloud attached storage are high bandwidth storage. So for example, when you have SSD in your hard drive, it's a high bandwidth. It can do a lot of operations, but these are for the cloud. This will be like 1,000 times faster depending on what you purchase or what plan you take, right? And some data intensive applications might need that kind of a bandwidth to read that many millions of files or amount of data in a few seconds. So that is where this cloud storage comes into play. And AI itself doesn't use the storage, but then when you design these applications, you want to keep all this data. Let's say, for example, there is a model, LLM model, which is 25 GB in size. So if you host it on the cloud, the storage also needs to be fast for that model to load into the memory, right? So things like that. So that is where these efficiency and all these in the cloud comes into the picture. So all this based on the applications, you could have various cloud storage plans and usage, and that's how AI also will need such kind of fast storage depending on your use case. So, yeah.
The next question, I think it's a clarification for a tool that you told about UI and UX design.
Yes.
So the question goes in this way: how can a AI tool will do a job in UI UX domain?
Yes. So basically, there are some tools which we have seen where when you tell that you want to build a user interface for a retail application having these features, it will generate a UI for you. And then you can say, okay, this is what I need in the screen, or this is what I don't need. So it will incrementally improve whatever prompt you give to the LLM. So that is one way of what you can generate a UI UX from any LLM. But there are also specific tools in UI UX which can help you improve the look and feel and improve. So it has some parameters where, usability kind and things like it can help you suggest this is how your UI should be, right? So there are quite some tools like that. Some are paid, some are free. Yeah, definitely there are a lot of options available for that.
Thank you. I think that's the last question. The participants, if anybody has got a question, it can be posted in the chat window. Only one question more. In the meantime, I have a question. It's about prompt
sir.
engineering.
Right.
Can you throw some more light about what is prompt engineering?
So in simple terms, when there is a LLM, there is something called a system prompt, which will tell how the LLM should behave or think, right? And then there is a user prompt where you ask the LLM to do some activity. So once you say a system prompt saying, imagine you are a software engineer writing Python code. So the LLM becomes a virtual software engineer. Then you, as a user, you say, write some Python code to generate some 5-digit prime number, right? So that is the user prompt, and that would tell the LLM to go search. So when we say LLM is basically a huge vectorized database kind of a thing where it searches from various patterns and gives you some relevant answers. So then it will go through its learnings and find those relevant keywords and give you the program which will work on your machine. So that's like a simple summarized way of how LLM work and the prompts work. So
Thank you. And the next question is from Radha Sivakumar.
Sure.
What kind of AI policy should the government have for the safety and security of IT users?
Yeah, this is kind of a big question, I would say.
Yes.
But then I think already a lot of governments have various kind of initial policies about AI and regulations, wherein they suggest that the AI should have various limitations and whatnot. But again, this is more of in terms of as a provider, how you should maintain your AI infrastructure. That is where it should lead. Basically, so when you build something, it should be for the betterment of the human race, not for something destructive purposes. So yeah, that kind of AI policies might come up, but I am kind of not that big to talk about policies, I would say.
Right.
Probably I'll keep it to technical stuff.
Yes. The next question is from Shubhasri. It's
Right.
like, in future, AI will play a vital role or prompt engineers will play a vital role?
So, I mean, prompt engineer is just a new term because of, the way how these LLMs are working, and a lot of people have discovered that writing efficient prompts gives them what they need, right? But then as days progress, everyone will be able to write those prompts. Some might write a perfect, extraordinary prompt. Some might write a 80% well-written prompt, right? So then people will not look for prompt engineers anymore, because every maybe even a school student can write a prompt, right? Once he learns how these systems behave and what needs to be asked. So it's all something in terms of soft skills or communications, right? So it's more of AI will play the vital role rather than a prompt engineer or somebody. So ultimately it's you as a person to understand the AI better, and how the AI will evolve will play all these vital roles.
Thank you. And the last question, it is from Mr. Saunit Kishore.
Yeah.
He just wants a confirmation. Is AI dangerous?
Yeah, I mean, see, we have seen some instances that AI has caused some issues, right? So, but unless you use AI in a proper way, or rather, when I say AI, it could be anything, right? Technology itself, there are so many ways to use it. If you decide to use it destructively, it will be dangerous, right? So AI by
Double-edged sword, we can say.
sorry.
Double-edged sword.
Yeah, double-edged sword. Yeah, but AI in itself is not dangerous. The way you use it, or the way we use it, science, technology, all these have passed through same questions for many centuries now. So the answer remains the same. It is how you use AI. If you use AI for the good, then it is not dangerous. If it is for destructive purposes, then yeah. So nuclear power, if you use it for good, it is generating power at the cheapest cost. But if you use for destructive purposes, it can wipe out countries, right? Similar, it's all similar. So
Thank you very much.
AI, sure. I see one more question. So AI tools for UI UX. So I mean, there are quite some new UX tools, Figma and all these. They support some built-in AI, but these are of course paid. But you can also use a lot of free tier LLMs, chatbots to generate some UX as well. So I think GitHub Copilot has some recently added some feature to generate UI UX. So definitely you should give it a try. Yeah, Divya.
Thank you very much, sir.
Sure,
Dear
sure, sir.
participants, thank you for your active participation and interaction. Now we'll move on to the next segment of the program. This the announcements.
I'm Ravi Kumar, MC member of
Yes, sir.
CSI. I wonder one question. What is the role of government sector in AI? What is the role of the
Role of,
government
yeah,
in
definitely
AI?
government bodies or sectors have their own responsibilities in terms of encouraging people to adapt AI. For example, like yesterday's meet where our Prime Minister has gone. So he has emphasized that the AI can bring out a lot of productivity boosts for India, right? It can change a lot of things to improve drastically, right? So in the same way, unless the government bodies support this view, it will help, right? So once they implement what our Prime Minister is saying, definitely it will increase the amount of manufacturing jobs and all these areas. It will definitely improve the overall economy or GDP as well, and quite some things I would say. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, sir.
Before that, somebody was asking about AI governance, right? What exactly is happening with respect to AI governance? For all of your information, the MeitY, or the Ministry of Electronics and IT, has published the report for public consultation to ensure that the governance mechanisms with respect to AI reflect India's aspirations. This public consultation aims to facilitate the creation of a robust, inclusive, and adaptive framework for technological advancement. And the last date for providing comments is 27th of February 2025.
Invite our secretary, Professor Dr. E.K. Girisan, Associate Professor and Head, Department of Computer Technology, Sri Krishna Aditya College of Arts and Science. Sir.
Thank you, Maharasan. Can you hear me?
Sir, we are
Yes,
able to.
sir.
Yes, thank you. On behalf of the Computer Society of India, Coimbatore chapter, I am here to propose the vote of thanks for today's webinar on unlocking potential, embracing the artificial intelligence revolution. The webinar was elegantly presented by Mr. Ravindran, Senior Architect of Devon Software, Bangalore. CSI Coimbatore chapter is always bound to show our gratitude to you for delivering such a wonderful talk on the AI penetrations in various fields, its applications, the challenges in AI, limitations of AI, and so on and so forth. It was indeed a thought-provoking session to all of us in knowing the nitty-gritties of the various types of generative artificial intelligence. Thank you, Ravindran, for taking your time and accepting our invitation to handle this webinar. Today, we had reached a count of more than 125 participants. My sincere thanks to all the active participants of today's webinar, and always we expect your earnest participation in all our endeavors, which is to be organized by the CSI Coimbatore chapter. Thank you very much indeed. My gratitude to the participants who raised the questions in both online and offline mode. My thanks to our office admin staff, Mr. Durvesh, for rendering his coordination in conducting this event. Our chairman, Mr. R. Saranakumar, for his welcome address and announcements made here. Dr. Radha Damodaran, the MC member of CSI, for introducing the guest. And Dr. K.S. Maharasan, the MC member, for being the master of ceremony. Once again, I take this opportunity to thank you all and best wishes for taking away the key points from this webinar. Computer Society of India, Coimbatore chapter will always be in the forefront in disseminating the information on the technological advancements. Thank you and see you all in our next event. Good night.
Thank you, sir. Dear participants, we thank you all for your active participation, and also a special thanks to our guest speaker.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. And let's all meet in the next meeting. Until then, it is Team CSA Coimbatore chapter wishing you all a happy journey in your learning and in your life. And it's me, Maharasan KS, an MC member of the Coimbatore chapter of Computer Society of India. Thank you all.